Good morning, everybody. My name is Andy Sweetman. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director for Futamura, and welcome to this webinar. We're going to focus today on why consider the use of compostable packaging materials in the fruit and vegetable sector. I'm delighted that we have expert speakers from the UK, Spain, and Italy present with us today, and we're going to go through the complete supply chain, really, from the film manufacture through the conversion stages onto the packaging machines and ultimately commercialization at the retail level. Just a couple of words from myself. First of all, in terms of the format for today. So you have the question and answer button on your screens where you can raise a question for us, and we will come back to questions at the end of the presentations. So please feel free to use the Q&A to raise any particular questions that you would like to have. And without more ado, I shall start things off. Just a couple of words from myself in terms of the concept. Why consider compostable packaging at all in the fruit and vegetable sector? Well, we know that people are looking around for alternatives, more sustainable alternatives to fossil-derived packaging materials, which have been the standard materials used over the last few decades. There's a very nice fit between the idea of taking materials which are derived from natural resources and using them to pack the most natural foods you can imagine, fruit and vegetables. So there's a start of life benefit, but also at the end of life, when you've prepared food, you're left with scraps of fruit, vegetables and fruit. And so the packaging then can follow exactly the same disposal route as the food waste at the end of life. So we address both the start and the end of life questions there. The other thing that's important to say is plastic materials perform incredibly well throughout the supply chain, keeping food fresh, running on packaging machineries, delivering the products to market. So we need to be able to match the kind of performance that you see from conventional packaging. And that's really the place that we're reaching today with these compostable materials. We're able to successfully pack on classic flow wrap machinery, vertical machinery. There are now lidding solutions coming to market. There are fruit and vegetable label solutions on the market as well. And there's also a nice fit between these materials and other sustainably derived materials such as paper and board. And we'll see some of those during the course of the next hour. In terms of the material that Futamura manufactures, it's called NatureFlex. It has a number of key technical benefits which make it very suitable for fruit and vegetable packaging. The transparency that you'd expect from a conventional material, gas barrier and the ability to tailor the moisture barrier characteristics of the material to fit the needs of the individual produce, a wide sealing range, and yet still easy to open in terms of the consumer experience. The ability to sort of twist close the material afterwards if you've only eaten part of the portion. Good printability and naturally anti-static characteristics as well. And then from the environmental point of view, you have, first of all of the materials used come from sustainable forestry sources. All of our suppliers are either FSC or PEFC registered to prove the sustainability of the raw material. And then at end of life, all of these materials are certified both to the European, US and Australian industrial composting norms, and also the European home composting protocol as well. So that's just a few words of introduction from myself. I'll now pass over to Jessica Andriotti. Jessica is the marketing manager at Sant'orsola, and she's going to talk to us about the blueberry market at the retail level. Thank you, Jessica.
Yes, thank you. Okay. Okay, here I am. Good morning, everyone, from me and from Sant'orsola. Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's very nice to see you. I'm Jessica, and I have been the marketing manager of Sant'orsola since 2018. I deal in particular with the concept and creation of new products and their digital strategy. Today I will show you the Zero Residue project and in particular the new packaging that Santorsola launched last spring. But before that, I would like to make a little introduction to the story of Sant'orsola if someone who is listening didn't know us. Sant'orsola is a producers organization. We are specialized in the production and sale of berries, including strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, but also wild strawberries, white and red currants, baby kiwi, which is arguta, and cherries. Created in 1972 in the Trentino region as an association of volunteers, it became a cooperative in 1979. And few years later achieved the important recognition of producer organization from the European community. Sant'orsola is currently the main Italian reality and reference in the berries category and also national market leader. All these goals were possible thanks to the efforts and commitment of over 800 producers who come from different Italian regions, such as Trentino, Marche, Veneto, Calabria, and Sicily. And thanks to the company's research and development department aimed at always finding new innovative cultivation techniques. In the pictures, you can see our new headquarters located in Cere di Pergine, a small town surrounded by mountains in Trentino. The ambitious Zero Residue Blueberry project wants to fulfill the growing desire of consumers to buy increasingly healthy fruit and respond to the will of our cooperative to guarantee the complete sustainability of the production chain. We have been producing berries for over 40 years. And with the Zero Residue Blueberry, we want to make our commitment to sustainability even stronger. Our mission is to link the economic and social sustainability of the cooperative more and more closely to the environmental one in order to innovate and make the relationship between producer, Sant'orsola, and consumers stronger and closer. The path to the Zero Residue certification began about 5 years ago, choosing the Italian areas most suitable for that type of cultivation. Starting from 2020, we have officially received the certification from CSQA, which is a certification and inspection company for Zero Residue blueberries, which means that at the time of harvest, do not have synthetic chemicals residues to detectable by analytical instruments. The strength of its cultivation is in the soilless technique that reduces the plant disease, cutting the use of chemical treatments. In addition, the soilless technique reduces water consumption by up to 30% compared to soil crops. Then, essential is the activity of useful insects in our crops. We use different types and species of mites and insects which feed on plant parasites to create a balance in our ecosystem. In the same way, we have also bees and bumblebees which help us in pollination period. Our Zero Residue Blueberry is a 100% Italian product, is a seasonal fruit, and it's harvested in the month of March, April, May, but also some quantities in June, be honest. The commercial campaign at the moment takes place only in this period. Currently in Sicily and Calabria, we found the best climatic conditions for our special blueberry. And as you can see from the map, the crops are in the south of Italy. So I told you so much about this blueberry. Now it's time to see together how we dressed it. Of course, we needed to find a packaging suitable for values of our blueberry. and that will fully enhance it. Sustainable, innovative, new, and attractive. That's why Santorsola has chosen a paper tray and a compostable NatureFlex leading solution. As you can see from the picture, the graphic rendering for communication needs is very good, I think, and the product inside is clearly visible. In the picture, you can see also the box fruit that contains 8 trays. Also for secondary packaging, we preferred to choose Havana paper, reducing the use of inks and colors. The goal was to create a much more natural product line in both style and graphics without, turning off the visual impact. Well, overall, the whole project, the concept and the creation of the new product lasted over a year. As I said before, for this new green packaging, we have designed an impactful graphic that speaks directly to our target audience. In fact, we designed a QR code on the leading with a call to action that says, discover me, follow me. And that connects the shopper, the consumers, directly on the Santorsola blog, which is called Berries. Our blog is consumer-oriented and contains articles, videos, and original content, such as recipes, lifestyle tips, interviews, and much more. Thanks to the QR code on packaging, we want to make the consumers experience more and more multi-channel, from the supermarket, which is a point of sales, or from home, which is one of the point of consumption, to online, which can be Instagram, Facebook, or the Santorsola blog as moment of interaction and engagement. Of course, we have created in our official website a new dedicated page and section to the Zero Residue Blueberry, where we share the reasons of the project, the qualities of the product, using always a simple and fresh tone of voice. To complete the online communication strategy, we worked with a group of influencers who helped us to promote and present the new product, sending them lots of blueberries. They created lots of receipts, reels, video, and shared this content with their communities. Well, my presentation is almost over. I leave you a little suggestion for your next receipt. I will let you enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Jessica. Can I just register a quick complaint, though? It's a little bit early for lunch here in the UK, and you've just made me very hungry. So thank you for that.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Second presenter today is Fabrizio Radice, who is the General Manager of Corapack, and he's going to talk to us about the packaging solutions that they offer.
So, good morning, everybody. My name is Fabrizio Radice. I'm the owner and the general manager of Corapack. Corapack is a family company. We are a converting company specialized in the production of flexible films for the food packaging application. We are located in the north side of Italy. We have been founded in 1982. And for our particular location, we are 1,200 kilometers from Sicily and 1,200 kilometers from the north of Europe. So We are a little bit in the middle of Europe, and we export more than 50% of our product all over Europe. Our market are mainly in the coffee application, in bakeries, and in fruit and vegetables. Fruit and vegetables, we start several years ago, and we developed market thanks to all the technology of perforation that are present in Corapack. In Corapack, we have a laser perforation technology able to produce holes of 0.1 millimeter, something like. We have hot needle technology to produce holes around 1 millimeter, and we have cold punches to produce holes of a diameter of 6-8 millimeter. And those are the typical production for the fruit and vegetables packaging materials. We can print up to 10 colors in flexo, and we can also create multi-layers structure with different technology of lamination. We developed the first packaging material in compostable materials in 2004, if I remember. We were using a Natureflex film laminating another soft polymer coming from potato starch, and we have used this material exactly to pack some potato on a vertical machine. So it was a sort of circularity concept ante litteram, because nobody at the time was really talking about sustainability or concept like this. But in any case, the market of the organic vegetables above all was sensible to finding solution that was bringing together with the product a communication of healthiness and naturality, not only on the product but also on the packaging. We have developed in these last 20 years several kind of packaging material, and we have certified them accordingly to the EN 1342 standards to offer to the market specific solution for specific exigencies. What we are a quite small company. I mean, it's 50 people, so we are quite flexible enough to found every time a fit solution for every kind of project that our customer were asking us to found. So exactly like for Jessica, we have developed for them the solution of the Residue Zero blueberries, because they would like to have a film with a certain clarity and transparency, able to be sealed on a cardboard tray. I've seen also on the Q&R section that there were somebody of you asking how can you stick the film on the tray. I will explain you a little bit later on, but we have to laminate the Natureflex film with a second polymer able to be sealed on cardboard. In the range of Corapack, I think we can divide two different material, the flow pack films and the living film for trays. And in terms of flow pack, you can have the monolayer film, like the standard application for macro perforated film for flow pack. We have seen also some images from Futamura in the first presentation. I would like to show you also something a little bit different from the usual application. For example, the application of the Natureflex film on fresh salad. This is a project or this is a customer we are having in South America, where we are producing films with an anti-fog effect and with a laser perforation to pack a fresh salad. we have two different range of product. They are using or a monolayer film for some application, or when they need to have a little bit stronger sealing, we use a Naturflex laminated to a thin layer of PLA. In this case, we maintain the clarity and the transparency of the film, but we increase the resistance of the sealing. Another application we had for the Naturflex was the project called Frutta nelle Scuole, that means fruit in the schools. This was a project that the European community was bringing from several years. I think that this year will be the 7th years of this project. The purpose of the action was to teach the new generation, so the young student, to consume healthy snack in healthy packaging. So to combine the concept of fruit and healthiness, not only in the food, but also in the way the food is transported and preserved before arriving. The fruit was proposed in different way. I mean, like fruit salad ready to eat in sliced mixer and in small bags, or also, sorry for the quality of this image, but it was the only one I found, in single trays with 2 or 3 fruit, clean, ready to eat, and in this case was used a Naturflex with a horn needle perforation. The other range I was telling you was the compostable lead films, so everything was linked to the tray leading. We have developed a range of compostable materials that can be used for standard trays in PLA or in other polymers. But this was the last development we did, also thanks to the request of Santorsola, to find a way to close natural fibers and wood pulp or cardboard trays. I will start showing you a solution we have developed for Miorto. Miorto is a primary Italian producer of ready-to-eat salad. They were proposing some bowls in past of salad for consumption in the offices or at the schools or on the workplace. And they would like to move into a compostable solution in order to bring the same concept as usual of combining the healthiness of the food with the healthiness of the packaging. And they create this idea, a bowl full in paperboard, totally compostable, and with a film. At the time was a little bit milky, the possibility we had to stick a Naturflex film on this kind of carton board. We should use a polymer in the middle that was a little bit milky, but was very efficient in terms of sealability. And this product has been awarded in 2021 as the best product in terms of sustainability from a customer panel. The second result was on the contrary with Sant'orsola, and Jessica already showed you all the concept behind, where we make a further step of development, bringing a more transparent film to certification in order to have the same characteristic of sealability on pure and cardboard, but with a higher clarity and transparency. In this case, the film was macro perforated with holes of 6 mm diameter in order to preserve the freshness of the berries and the shelf life of the product, but on the same time to have the best presentation of the product inside. Corapack is a continuous activity of research and development. We continue to look on the market to find new polymers. We are in continuously touch with Futamura or the other producer of raw material to understand what's news on the market and which are the new possibilities that we can offer to the market. And we combine the request of this kind of project, for example, the Spatial Tree, where a lot of research institute together with some chain of distribution, some distribution chain and some food producer are looking to find the best way to bring good quality nutrition and also therapeutical product in the best way possible, both for the food, then for so good for the man and good also for the environment. The same is another project we are now partner with. Is Novel Pack with other companies, and this is a project that is sponsored by the Regione Piemonte and the European Community on the same basis to help good food to arrive to the market in the best way. And the best way is not only for the food, but also for the ambient. My small presentation is ending here, so if you should need any further information, you can write me also later on. And I thank you for your attention.
That's great. Thank you, Fabrizio. One of the goals of this morning's presentations is to demonstrate the wide range of packaging solutions that are now available within this particular market sector. And Fabrizio has done a great job of showing us some of those on the continental European side. We're going to switch now over to the UK, where Mark Shaw, who is the technical manager of Parkside, is going to also talk about some solutions that they offer in the market.
So good morning, my name's Mark Shaw. I'm the technical sales manager for Parkside Flexibles. We're an independent flexible packaging manufacturer and been innovators for over 50 years. We have manufacturing facilities in the UK and Malaysia, and we supply packaging worldwide. And more importantly, we're a producer of accredited home compostable laminate since 2012. We've actually been developing compostable packaging since probably for about just short 20 years. And we produce a full range of both high barrier home compostable packaging and low barrier, and we supply into the full gamut of flexible packaging for both food and non-food applications. But today I'm here to talk about the benefits of compostable packaging for produce, because we really feel compostable fits with this market segment. So first of all, I'll start what our material is made of. So at the heart of our laminate is NatureFlex, which is a cellulose product, and it's made from FSC and PFC grade wood pulp and is sourced from sustainably managed forests. So for every tree that's felled, up to 1 or up to 3 more are regrown. Where needed, we can add a biopolymer, and I'll go on later to explain why that's important. Our biopolymer is derived from natural resources such as sugarcane, cassava and corn, and is GMO free, and all our laminates are direct food contact approved. So why use NatureFlex? Well, a lot of the laminates that we're replacing are replacing PTPE, and the NatureFlex acts like PT in a PTP laminate. So most importantly, it's got excellent print receptivity. We print up to 10 colors, HD Flexo. It adds rigidity to the material as well, and it's heat resistant. So it gives heat resistance against the sealing jaws on a sealing line. And it can be semi-permeable. So for high moisture transmission foods such as produce, it's ideal for that. And it is naturally anti-mist. So we don't have to add coatings or chemicals to the material to give anti-mist properties. So why add a biofilm to it? Well, it improves functionality. It can reduce the sealing temperature. So our laminates can seal as little as 80 degrees C. It also adds flexibility to the material. So it makes it more suitable for chill and freezer applications. So it reduces brittleness in low temperature applications. And it improves versatility. So the combination of NatureFlex and biopolymer, it can mimic a PTP laminate. So it makes it suitable for vertical form fill and seal machines, horizontal form fill and seal, and also top lidding lines. So one of the growth areas we've seen for produce is flow wraps. And these are suitable for a wide range of different fruit and veg, from salad, spinach, carrots and broccoli and other leafy vegetables. We can macro and micro perforate the material to add transmission and respiration of the produce. And as we'll show later on, packaging isn't a bad thing. It naturally improves shelf life for certain products. And we've seen a good increase in lidding applications. So there's been a big move, especially in the UK, to pulp trays. And currently, most pulp trays in the UK are actually lidded with a PTP laminate, which we feel is just wrong. Why add plastic to a paper product? Our product replaces that with a accredited home compostable lidding film. And the difficulty with pulp trays is they tend to have a rough surface, so they're difficult to seal to. Our biopolymer allows that to seal to the rough surface. It's also compatible with trays that are lined with biopolymers, so it'll seal to PLA, PBS, PBAT, Matter B, and it will also seal to a range of paper trays that are coated with water-based coatings. It won't do all of them, so but it'll do a vast majority. Again, it's suitable for micro and macro perforation, and it's ideal for soft fruits and vegetables. However, we feel accreditation is absolutely crucial. Accreditation means that it will be independently tested. We use OWS in Belgium, and it will be verified by an independent accreditation body. When we use TÜV in Austria. And most importantly, we developed our products to be home compostable, so that they will break down within 26 weeks ambient temperature, and most importantly, have no negative effect on ecotoxicity. So they'll look into the adhesives you use, the inks you use, all the materials you use to ensure that anything you're putting into compost will not be toxic to that compost. However, our products are also industrially compostable. So we're accredited home via TÜV in Austria, also by ABA in Australia. We're also accredited industrial compostable by TÜV in Austria, Seedling through the Bioplastics Europe, and also through the CRE accreditation process in Ireland. So I'll just give you a quick case study from one of our customers. So we were approached by Riverford Organic Farmers. They are an online subscription company for organic fruit and veg, and their ethos was to remove, reduce, reuse or recycle any packaging they use in their products. Ideally, they wanted to remove all packaging. However, the next slide will show that's actually not sensible, because they're looking at long-term balancing the issues of climate change, marine pollution and land pollution, but also food waste, because food waste plays a big part in pollution and organic use. So they looked at Swiss chard, and they found that if you don't pack it before you actually send it from the farm, before it gets to the consumer, the plant's actually starting to wilt, it's starting to dehydrate. So the packaging actually keeps the veg fresh for longer and reduces food waste. There's a lot of carbon used in growing, transporting, and if you don't use it, disposing of vegetables if they're not used. So keeping them fresh for as long as possible is critical, and that can only be done by packaging. They did look at potentially using polythene, so recyclability is part of their key, but the next slide will show why they didn't do that and why they wanted to go to home compostability. As you see there, 82% less plastic is used by Riverford Organics compared to supermarket organic veg. So they asked the consumers, and their consumers said 82.5% of their consumers actually have a home compost heap, and they actually home compost. But the beauty of Riverford also is that they've got a closed loop solution. They deliver the veg to the customer, and then they collect any packaging that isn't home composted by the consumer back to Riverford. So all their cardboard boxes are either reused or recycled. All their carton board, all their pulp trays are either composted or recycled, and their compostable packaging is collected and recycled or organically recycled through composting. And this is, we feel, vital because it adds biomass back into compost, and it's a valuable asset, and then that goes back into soil. We think this is a great example of how compostable packaging fits perfectly well with the product and the end of life solution for that packaging. So thank you for listening today. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark. So we've seen some solutions on both sides of the channel. Our last key speaker for today is Josu Garcia, who is the Sustainability Manager from ULMA, and he's going to concentrate on the other essential part of the packaging chain, which is making sure these materials run on the packaging machines that are necessary to actually put these packs together. So over to you, Josu. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Okay. Well, as Andy introduced me, myself, I am Josu Garcia. I am the Sustainability Manager of ULMA Packaging, and I am also Product Manager of one of the product lines. Okay, and I'm coming here today to talk to you about our ULMA WeCare project. Well, first of all, let me introduce what is ULMA Packaging for maybe those that you don't know us. Basically, we are a company dedicated to the manufacturing of packaging equipment. Okay, we were founded in already 60 years ago in 1961 by a group of enthusiastic engineers. Okay, and since then we have been producing packaging equipment. Okay? We are a global organization. We are present right now in 22 countries with our own subsidiaries, and throughout the rest of the country through a network of distributors. And our main markets are clearly oriented in the fresh food industry, and we are very strongly introduced in the fruit and vegetable market. And for these markets, we produce different packaging machine technologies. We produce flow wrapping machines, we produce thermoforming machines, we manufacture tray leading or tray sealing machines, we manufacture also vertical fold seal machines, stretch wrappers, and shrink wrappers. And all around this, we do turnkey fully automated packaging lines. Okay, so our business is purely on equipment, on packaging equipment. Okay. Okay, what is the ULMA WeCare? Ulma We Care is an ambitious sustainability project that has a double target. Okay, on one side, our target is to reduce the packaging material. On the other side, we look to incorporate recyclable and compostable materials to the packaging. All this, of course, and as some other speakers have already said, keeping the functionality of the package and making sure the package still keeps the shelf life of the product. So this is Ulma We Care, okay? Well, as you all know, well, we at Ulma Packaging, we are fully aware that the exponential growth plastic have had during the last 50 years. I mean, it is estimated that the plastic use has been increased by 20 times since 1960, okay? And we have been since then anchored in a linear economy structure in terms of production and waste management. And clearly now we are moving to a circular economy model, okay? Ulma Packaging is, of course, aligned with this change of direction and fully aware of our position and the responsibility we have as a packaging, as a company in the packaging sector. We are working to ensure that our contribution to this transformation to this circular economy. Okay. Ulma We Care, as I said, is a sustainability plan that aims to achieve this circular economy across the whole value chain. Okay, so Ulma We Care covers several research and development areas that pursue the innovation in sustainability design and applications through our packaging machinery range. Okay, the Ulma We Care project addresses the various phases of the life cycle of a package, okay? From the design stage, the package cell life itself, and the end of the life cycle. In the design phase of the packaging, we use eco-design technologies and concepts that will allow us to minimize the environmental impact in the production of packages, okay? And in addition to design the packaging considering its end of life. As I said, during the package shelf life, we must guarantee the package complies 100% with the functions for which it has been designed, okay? And especially, as some of the speakers have already talked about, we must make sure that the package keeps its functionality in terms of food waste reduction, okay? Well, we are members of the Safe Food Initiative of the United Nations, and in this sense, well, we want to keep that to continue as it is, okay? And the Ulma We Care project in the final phase of a package, I mean, in the end of the life cycle, sorry, will take care that the package is designed so that either it can be recycled or it can be composted. Okay? So if we go a little bit in detail in the phase one, where we work with the customer in the eco design of the package, we use different strategies together with our customers in order to basically reduce the use of packaging material. We work in the plastic reduction, in the use of thinner gauge films, on not having oversized packages, on optimizing the packaging size, on the film as scrap reduction, on those machines that create some scrap, that this scrap is minimized. We have applications for trayless packaging, reducing the amount of trays and therefore the amount of plastic when plastic trays are used. Or in case of plastic trays, using thinner gauge trays or made of alternative materials, as we saw, for example, in the Santorsola project. And on the end of life, and in the end of the life cycle of the package, we are working on the use of alternative materials like the paper films. We are working on the use of recycle-ready monomaterial films like polyester, polypropylene, or polyethylene. Of course, the use of plastic films and trays made of recyclable materials, having a recyclable content, okay? And we use also cellulose and fiber-based trays. And in the area of the use of compostable materials, we use, which is the case of Natureflex, for which we are today here. Well, we are working with this with the Natureflex compostable materials, and basically we are using also trays made of compostable materials such as cellulose, wood, etc. Okay? And as I say, always having in mind that the pack has to keep its functionality, and in that sense, we are strongly committed to the reduction of food waste. I mean, which we know is one of the major causes of the global warming. Well, in this Ulma We Care project, we are working at our Ulma Packaging Technological Center with over 50 engineers working in different research projects. And we are working in different technologies that allow us to work in the strategies that I described before, okay? These are some of the strategies and the project that we have developed that will allow us, as we will see now, to have improved package in terms of sustainability. Okay, let me show you some examples of what we are talking now about. For example, this is a pack using the tight bag technology. The tight bag technology has been developed for the Ulma packaging vertical packaging machines, and the target is to reduce the pack volume. With the tight bag technology, we can reduce the pack volume around 50%, okay? Which optimizes the pack size on one side, and on the other hand, it reduces the amount, or well, let's put it the other way around. It allows you to put more single unit packs into a secondary packaging, which reduces up to, or what you can increase up to 50% more single units in each box, for example, which at the end of the day will have an impact on the carbon footprint in terms of transport, etc. Okay? So a part of having a tighter pack and a reduced pack, it allows you to to have a minimum impact on the global CO2 footprint. Okay. Especially this application is very much interesting for those working on frozen food. Okay, because also helps that you don't need to perforate the pack. Okay, the vent-to-the system on the Ulma, developed by the Ulma We Care project, is a system that allows us to reduce the pack length by around 15%. Okay, this at the end of the day, apart of giving you a reduction in the amount of plastic use, it will increase the productivity also for light products, allowing a faster product drop. In the area of packaging reduction, we are working a lot in the trayless packaging. Okay, these are some examples of trayless packaging. Okay, and this can be developed either with conventional plastics like polypropylene or with compostable plastics like the Natureflex we are talking today. Okay. One of our targets in the Ulma We Care project is that our machines are, let's say, capable of running with different materials. Okay, so in this sense, what we work is enhancing the flexibility of our equipment, allowing the machines to work not only with conventional materials, but also with these new compostable materials. Okay. Another strategy in the Ulma Wicker project is the reduction of reduction of the amount of plastic by using minimum thickness films. Okay, so in this sense, we are working with applications with films in 15, 20 microns or even less. Okay. Another alternative solution in terms of packaging reduction is to substitute the trays, the conventional plastic trays, by carton trays. And here I have several examples for different trays. If these carton trays are combined with a natural reflex compostable film, okay, you can easily get a fully compostable package. Okay, this is an example of a tray or type of tray. This is very similar to what we saw from Santorsola. This is another alternative, for example, with a molded cellulose fiber tray. Okay. And these carton trays also can be used in our flow wrapping machines. Okay, we can use carton trays to minimize the amount of plastic used in the packaging. Okay, but we can also use wooden trays, for example, like this pack with oranges or mandarins. Okay. In the Ulma We Care project, we are also working with ready to recycle package manufactured 100% by monomaterial films. So these monomaterial PE or PP films will be ready to recycle wherever it's available. Okay. And as I said, we work a lot also in applications with compostable materials like natural flex. Okay? Then, well, my colleagues have already explained the properties of natural flex, and obviously in terms of machinability and machine performance, it shows also a great machine performance. Also, as an alternative, we are working with paper films. Those paper films, in order to make the product visible inside, can have a window. And in this case, for example, this would be a window made of natural flex, so that in this case, using a compostable paper, the package is 100% compostable. Okay. Or also packages made 100% by paper that can be fully recycled in the paper recycling stream. And this is becoming more and more popular in the vertical folding seal machines. Okay. So good, this is well, what I wanted to show you about our Ulma We Care. Thank you very much. I hope it's been interesting for you. And well, you know where we are in case you want us to answer any question.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Josu, and thank you to all of our speakers. If I can ask you, the speakers just to unmute and come back on video. We have a few minutes for the Q&A session. Now, we've actually had quite a lot of questions coming in online. I know a number of you have been typing some answers already, so that's fantastic. Thank you. There's a couple that I think we'll bring up live. Jessica, you were being asked to unveil a key secret, I think, first of all. How do you actually get the NatureFlex lidding film to stick to a paper tray?
Yeah, we have a customized machine which use the heat. It's a sailing machine for this type of tray. So is customized on its size.
Okay, great. So I think what you've got is that the sealing layer on the lidding film is compatible with that type of tray, a little bit like Mark was explaining, I think, in one of his answers.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. One for, perhaps we'll put this to both Fabrizio and to Mark. It's a question from Annabella. She was asking, are there any paper or pulp trays available where you could use washed salads? So I'm guessing you're talking about a loose leaf with high moisture content. Are there any sort of compostable trays and lidding solutions that you can do for a product that is that full of moisture?
Okay, we are not tray producers, so I cannot fully answer to this kind of question, but for sure, the example of Orto that I present to you was exactly a cardboard tray, exactly fitted to a fresh salad ready to eat. So, okay, you cannot dress the salad inside probably, but for sure it's something that is exactly for this application. And this is a tray produced by an Italian producer of trays, Biopap. I can share the link to the auditor if needed, but that's for sure not the only one. I mean, even the tray like the one we have seen in the end of Jessica, okay, as a shape fitted for the berries, but for sure you can find a tray in a different shape able to pack enough salad for a monoportion or two portion. So I think that on the market you can find absolutely a solution for this.
Great, thank you. And Mark, did you mention that there are some like coated trays, maybe a more?
Yeah, so I agree with Fabrizio. We're not tray manufacturers, but there are carton board which is coated with water-based coatings which add moisture repellency, grease repellents, a degree of moisture barrier as well. So there are materials out there that can be used and can be formed into trays.
Great, thank you. And Josu, slightly long question. The very first sale of NatureFlex, actually, a few years ago, was simple flow packing of fruit and vegetables, unprinted, with a paper label stuck on the top. Really basic. And we've heard today all sorts of different solutions, far more technical today with these materials. Are there any sort of packaging structures which you can't do with compostable materials today?
So you mean if there are any flow wrap or packaging that we cannot wrap with NatureFlex, for example?
Yeah, NatureFlex laminated to another biomaterial, for example. Yeah.
Well, in general, I can say that as Fabrizio and Mark already explained, I mean, nowadays the film converting technology is able to adapt the materials to have a good machinability, and ourselves, the packaging machine manufacturers, we are also adapting the sealing and forming technologies to this new material. So basically, I would say that most of the conventional packages that are existing today in the market can be either ways done in a compostable material.
Great, thank you. One for you, Mark. We heard about industrial and we've heard about home composting today. And I know that in both cases, the materials go through very, very strict testing programs. But what's the main difference between industrial and home?
It's the times and the conditions. So industrial testing is designed to mimic industrial composting, which is at elevated temperatures, so 60 degrees, and it's at a short time period, less than 12 weeks. Whereas home compostable is there to mimic and replicate what happens in a home compost environment. So the package has to microbially biodegrade compost, at ambient temperature in a compost heap and break back down into CO2, water and biomass, and be, most importantly, not toxic to the compost. So it's the difference is time and temperature. So compostable, home compostables 26 weeks. That's half a normal composting environment timescale. Normally people compost for a year, and the reason for that is take into account differences in temperatures between the northern and southern hemisphere. Great,
thank you very much. We've done brilliantly on time. I think I can just squeeze one last question in, and I'm going to go to the most important part of the chain, because ultimately, if you don't sell the product to the consumer, then none of us have any role whatsoever. So, Jessica, if you don't mind taking the last question, what would you say consumers are looking for in terms of the experience when they go shopping for fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, and so on?
Well, I think people want cleaner and healthier products, if possible with green packaging. Then the consumer is very sensitive to the guidelines taken by the brand. This is what people are looking for in the supermarket. Not only new products and prices, but also to see how much food companies are involved in, for instance, environmental issues, packaging, food waste, or their ability to communicate in a new, inclusive way. Moreover, the consumer evaluates the ability of the brands and company to involve him in a satisfying experience. For this reason, we believe that packaging is a very strategic touch point to talk to the consumer and tell something about us.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I know that people like a webinar to last an hour. We are exactly on 1 hour, so thank you very much for that. I hope we've answered everybody's questions. Just for the audience, if anybody else does want to ask any further questions, just get in contact with us, and I'm sure that all of the panelists will be happy to clarify that. It's been fantastic, I have to say, to watch from my perspective. Like I mentioned earlier, that when I think of the very first pack, which was just a simple flow pack and it wasn't even printed, through to the technical laminate solutions that the converters are delivering now, and that seal to a range of different materials, it's really a very exciting space, and with, I think, still much scope for further development. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to the audience for listening, and for Europe, for mainland Europe at least, bon appetit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.